Hi, everyone. Everyone knows that pork tenderloin can be really dry, but it doesn't have to be, and you don't have to cook it in a crock pot. Today, I'm making garlic lime grilled pork loin steaks. You're really going to like this one. Okay, so this is actually a recipe that doesn't have a whole lot of ingredients to it. It's mostly about making a marinade and getting your pork situated so that it can get in the marinade and then grilling it. I'm probably going to serve this with a coconut rice and a salad, make a nice rounded meal out of it. I'm going to start by making the marinade. I've got some lime juice, some lime zest. I have about 4 teaspoons of minced garlic. I have 3/4 teaspoons of salt and half teaspoon of pepper. I have about 2 teaspoons of fish sauce and 4 teaspoons of honey. And I have a half a cup of regular canola oil. About 4 teaspoons of mayonnaise. We're going to get to that in a second. Most of you know that if I'm using oil, I tend to prefer an olive oil, but because this is a marinade and I'm not going to actually end up with that much of it in my actual meal, it's mostly to help things stick to the actual pork loin itself. Using a regular canola oil is just perfectly fine for this because a lot of that marinade's not going to actually end up on it. So first things first, I'm going to take my 1/4 cup of lime juice and pour that into my bowl. I'm going to take 1 lovely tablespoon of lime zest. I'm going to have my 4 teaspoons of minced garlic. I am using fresh, my salt and pepper, my fish sauce, which is an Asian ingredient, and my 4 teaspoons of honey. This is just regular organic honey. I buy mine locally. You can get it in the store, no problem. You could probably use agave with this as well. I just happen to have the honey on hand. Okay, I'm going to take this, I'm going to whisk it together, get it nicely combined. Then I'm going to add my oil. I'm going to just drizzle it in. You know, frankly, you could probably use this as a vinaigrette if you wanted to. I'm mostly just looking to get it nicely combined. It's not going to get too thick, but it will thicken up just a little bit. And there we are. Perfect. Now I'm going to take most of this. I have here a container that I have a gallon Ziploc bag in. This is what I'm going to marinate my pork in. So I'm going to add this vinaigrette to this first. I'm going to add most of it. I want to hold back just a couple of tablespoons of it. And that's going to be to make a sauce. So that in there. I'm going to add in my mayonnaise. And I'm going to whisk that again till it makes a nice sauce. Beautiful. And I am going to set this aside in the refrigerator, and I'm going to serve it as a sauce for my finished grilled pork loin. Okay. I'm going to clean this up, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to prep the pork loin. Okay, so I've got my pork loin here. This one is 1 to 1.5 pounds. It's all one piece. Sometimes when you buy these in a package, you end up with 2 smaller pieces. I really do try to go for one big one, depending on what I'm doing. You can see that it's a little thinner on one side than the other. That's okay because of the way we're going to do this. See this here? This is silver skin. That is not good eats, and it's going to make your pork kind of crinkle up together. So I'm going to just take that off. You do this with beef a lot. Thing doesn't want to stay where it is because beef has silver skin as well. This is not a hard thing to do. We just get in underneath it, and it doesn't have to be perfect. This is slightly different. This is fat. It's okay if you leave that. I'm going to get just that last couple of little bits right under there. Okay, perfect. I'm going to set that aside. Now, what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to make this into steaks. So I'm going to And I want them to cook about the same time. So this is obviously bigger. This is obviously smaller. It kind of reminds you of a chicken breast, right? Where it's thinner on one side, a little thicker on the other. I'm going to just have this like this and then go the long way. And I'm going to have it again, right? So I'm making little steaks. And with this guy, it's going to be a little bit longer and a little thinner on one side, but you're going to see in a moment that that doesn't really make a whole bunch of difference. So I've got 4 steaks here. Now I'm going to marinate all 4 of these steaks, but I'm only going to cook 2 of them tonight. So once I get done prepping them and they've done their marinating, I'm actually going to just take 2 of these. I'm going to put them in probably a slightly smaller bag, and I'm going to just stick them in the freezer. And I'll be able to pull them out in a couple of days or next week or 2 weeks from now, and they'll be perfectly fine, ready to go. Great idea for if there's things you want to prep ahead of time in order to have quick suppers. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is, because I want these to kind of cook all the same, I'm looking to make sure that my thickness, see if I can, this is about the same, right? This is probably the best one to look at, right? So it's about the same, but it's a little bit bigger than the others. You can tell by the way it's sitting on the board. And there you have it. Simple. But we're not done with these steaks yet. Now I want to score them a little bit. And by scoring them, I'm going to just allow more of the surface area of the pork loin to pick up that marinade. So I'm going to just kind of make some lines, do it on each one. Then I'm going to turn it, go the other way. And you're not looking to cut through, you're just doing a little thin slice over the top. Nothing too crazy at all. And yep, I'm going to turn it over and do the exact same thing on the opposite side. Again, not cutting through. We're just making little slices that give us an opportunity to let that marinade get through and just stick a little bit more. Not doing very even slices today, am I? And then back this way. Okay, and that's it. I don't need to salt and pepper these because there's salt and pepper in my marinade. So we're all good to go. See how we're going to have nice places for all that marinade to go in on both sides of the meat. And then right in to the marinade we go. I'm going to try to squeeze out quite a bit of the air. We're not looking to marinate with air. So I'm going to try to get as much of that out as I can. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, just needs to be sealed. Then I'm going to squish it around. Squish, 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 squish. And then you can either marinate it sitting up like this, or you can lay it all flat. The most important thing over the next 45 minutes to an hour is to just every once in a while go in, flip it over. You'll see your marinade goes to the bottom, goes to the top, goes to the bottom, goes to the top. That's how it works. If you're worried that you put a hole in the bag, there you go. Just go in every 15 minutes, just flip it, right? And you'll be good to go. Okay, so about 45 minutes, I'll be back. Okay, so it's been about 45 minutes, and my pork loin steaks have been marinating. These did marinate at room temperature. Don't worry about it. You're not leaving them out long enough to worry about it going bad or anything like that. So they're all set. I've flipped them around a couple of times, and they're looking good. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to just open up the bag, and I've got my frying pan here on medium to medium low. Again, depends on what your stove is like. I just have this really high burner here that it's on. I was gonna grill these, and you absolutely should try these grilled. Unfortunately, the weather is not working in my favor today, so I'm gonna have to cook them in the frying pan. But these are super excellent on the grill, and you're gonna use basically the same technique. So now that my pan is pretty much up to temperature, I can tell because I can feel a little bit of heat coming off of it, not too much, just I can hold it without burning. All right, so now I'm going to just take these. Now, I'm not going to add any oil to my pan because there's oil in the marinade, so I don't need anything more in my pan. And I'm going to just drop them in. You do this exact same thing if they were on the grill. You would put them over medium-high heat on a grill and just set them on there. Let them go. I'm going to do these for about 2 minutes on each side, and then I'm going to start to temp it. I'm looking for about 140. Like I said, it's quite lean, so you don't want to overcook it, but you do want to have it done. The rest of this, I'm going to just roll up in my Ziploc bag, and I'm going to stick it right in the freezer like this. Once it's all frozen, I'm going to come back and mark it, and it'll be perfectly ready for me to use for dinner in a couple weeks, whenever I'm ready to use it next. By the way, I just want to say that if you're not good at timing things, you can buy little timers online. I bought mine in a set. It came with 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and 10 minutes, if I remember correctly. These are great because you don't have to worry about counting or doing your other thing. You just set it. See, well, you probably can't see it, but it's just going. This is a 2-minute one. I'm going to just set it down on the counter, let it going. And as soon as it empties, I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to flip those. That's how I'll know that I'm doing 2 minutes on each side. Wonderful little idea. And these were, I don't know, $5. Wicked cheap. When you do these on the grill, all of this fat and juice stuff that's coming out of them, the oil from the thing, that's all marinated. It's going to drip down onto the grill bits, and they're actually called flavor plates, specifically because when stuff goes down on them, juices and things like that, it goes down, sizzles up, makes some smoke, and that smoke comes up and adds more flavor to whatever you're cooking on the grill. That's what would be happening out there. We don't have quite the same thing going here, but trust me, this is going to be just as good cooking it this way. Also notice that I am not touching them. All I did was flip them, and I'm just waiting, letting it do its thing. All right. I'm almost ready to flip over. And now I'm going to do my first temp. Ooh, we're getting close. It's 140. I think I'm gonna go up to 150. Like I said, I don't want to overcook them, but I don't want them undercooked either. All right, just like that, it's done. Okay, so the other thing I had going on here while I was waiting for that to happen is I had some coconut rice that I had in the freezer. I just put it in the microwave in its little plastic container, cover off for 1 minute twice, so 2 minutes total, and then put it in the pan, just a little bit of butter flavored olive oil, um, just to make on the bottom, and then just put a cover on it and let it steam up. And that's going to be my starch, my carb to go with this. So, sorry, I know I have a white plate. It's only so much I can do with that. But this is all done, except for I now have the sauce to put on it. So remember, this sauce was just the lime sauce that we made with a little bit of mayo. It's the same thing as the marinade. It's just got that little bit of mayo in it. And I'm not going to put mine on. I'm going to just put mine off to the side. So that whoever, is eating it can go ahead and dip it. And that, my friends, is it. Let's take a bite. Ooh, this looks so good. All right. Mm, really nice citrus flavor. The whole thing, that steak, pork loin steak, took about 5 minutes to cook total, right? Twice on each side, then kind of an additional 1 minute. That was it. I let it go that little extra bit just to get browning. Tempt it about 145. It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Have a salad with this, and it's a great dinner. Um, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time, and I'll see you next time. Remember, life is too short to eat bad food.